Hi class, this is Kendra Crow, your instructor for Literature 202, and this is my little tutorial on how to use the Soomo text to create your outline. I know this is new and we used it for the thesis statement, but I wanted to go through how it's utilized for the outline. So just like your thesis statement, the Soomo text provides you with a template on how to create an outline, which is due at the end of Module 3. The information on this begins on page 316. And I think it's really important to go through all of this information. It gives you a lot of good points to look through and also some questions to answer. So at the beginning, it's just some questions and some more information. Also, I wanted to point out that there is another document in your Blackboard called the Outline Checklist that's located under Final Project Outline Checklist, and it looks like this. I have it pulled up here. This also has a lot of good information on how to create your outline for this module. It gives you the checklist, and then at the end, if you go through, there's sample outlines. So it goes through and it gives you, this is an outline that has a block pattern as well as a sample outline for an alternating pattern. So I just wanted to point out that there is another document that's going to be really helpful for you when formulating your outline this week. So back to the Soomo text. So again, there's 2 pages really of information on how to create your outline and some basics. Again, here's an outline format and just gives you like a template really. And this is the template that it will be using to generate your outline for you after you fill in some information. So starting on page 318, you're going to develop your outline. And let me do this. I've filled in my outline already, but I wanted to show you first how this looks when you haven't saved it yet. So here's how you develop your outline. And so this is going to be an outline that utilizes a block pattern where you talk about one text completely and then you talk about another text completely. So if you are going to be using an alternating pattern, that's completely fine. Just know that this form, you might have to make some tweaks after you fill out this form in order to make it work for the alternating pattern. It talks about that in the Soomo text, how this might not quite work for you, but I think you could tweak it and make some modifications in order to make it work for you if you're going to do the alternating pattern. But just know that you don't have to do a block pattern. That's just how this form is set up. So what you're going to do first is you'll go through the writing template. You start with the introduction and you're going to draft your opening sentence that creates interest. So it just gets you thinking about how you are going to start your opening paragraph, your introductory paragraph. Once again, I want to reiterate, this is not set in stone. I will not hold you to it. If you change and you have a different opening sentence, that's fine. Just know that if you want to put some thought into it and some effort into it, this is a great time to do it. Start generating some ideas, getting some ideas out there in order to create that opening sentence that's really going to capture your audience's attention. But if that changes and tweaks as the project progresses, that's totally acceptable and you are not held to this forever, okay? I just want to reiterate that. And then what Soomo does here in the part B is it takes your thesis statement from the last module and inserts it here. So this was my thesis statement for the last module. Thesis statement. In this paper, I will argue because Frankenstein and Candide were written in 2 completely different cultures, their concept of heroism varies greatly. That was my thesis statement that I generated in module 2. It just takes it and plops it in here so that you have it in the right place of your outline. So very helpful. And then it goes through and it says what you're going to do next, which is, okay, the overview of how Frankenstein explores the theme of DIY heroism. So my theme that I had generated in the module 1 gets plopped in here. And it talks about the first text that I'm going to be talking about. So it fills that in for you. And then it gives you some prompts here. So think about how Frankenstein explores your chosen theme of heroism. In a sentence, make a general statement that describes how Frankenstein explores this theme. So you'll put that in there. Then the next one, in a sentence, summarize Frankenstein. And you put that in there. And I want to emphasize here that in a sentence, we're going to summarize Frankenstein. We need to summarize it as it relates to the theme. You don't need to tell me about a detail that has nothing to do with your theme. If I'm talking about heroism, I'm not going to talk about something that doesn't relate to heroism. It needs to relate to the theme. Everything needs to relate to your theme and to your thesis statement. Okay, then your next section here is the work 1, claim 1. So you're using your thesis statement as a guide. Explain how your first claim applies to Frankenstein. So my claim is that heroism varies greatly between these two books. So I put in claim 1 as it applies to Frankenstein. And then it asks you to put in some passages from the text. So you'll need to be reading the text, going through the text, or at least saying which parts you're going to be looking for these sections. Say, I'll be looking at the section where Frankenstein is helping out the cottagers or something like that. And I would put that in here as a passage that I'll be looking for that will help prove my claim, my first claim. Then I'll go through and I'll find claim 2. So the next claim, again, it relates to Frankenstein. It relates to my thesis statement argument about heroism. I will put my second claim in there and I will find textual evidence of that particular claim. And then it moves on to Candide, which is my second book. It explores the theme of heroism, how Candide explores heroism. I put that in here, and then I write a sentence summarizing Candide as it relates to my theme. And then I move on to my claim. So again, using my thesis statement, I make a claim about Candide, and then I find textual evidence to support that. And then you go through and you make another claim about Candide, textual evidence to support that. And then I end with my conclusion. Restate your thesis in a new way. So I write a concluding thought with a restatement, not a word-for-word restatement of my thesis. And then your outline is complete. Easy. No, it'll take some thought and it'll take some time. But again, this isn't time wasted. This is time to help you with your milestone project. So this is it's moving you forward toward that final result. So don't think of this as a time waste. Oh, I still have to write my outline after this. If you put the time and effort into this, it helps you with your next steps through your milestones. So don't just fill in and just to get it done so you get the points. It really will help you as you move forward in this project. The next thing you would need to do is to hit see my completed outline. And so that will give you then the points for this particular question in Soomo. Remember, we're still going through the Soomo text. You're still getting those points every time you answer questions. So that will give you your points. That submits it to the Soomo. And then you'll want to hit this download milestone 2 document. And I've already done that. And here it is. So it opens it up in a Word document for me. And it will generate this milestone 2. So here it is, exactly everything that I put in there. And it just generates it for you. Now you might want to go back in here and write a better heading for some of these. Don't say claim 1 because you know what the claim is. So you might want to put in here about how heroism, something about heroism or whatever your theme is. You might want to go through and just give it a little more detail. Also, make sure you are adding your MLA format here, which is your heading with your information and your last name with the page numbers. And then also I want to say, make sure you're formatting your titles. So I had an announcement about that this week, so make sure you're going through and just checking this. It does automatically generate it for you. It doesn't mean it's ready to turn in. You need to go through, put a little extra detail in there, format your titles, put it in MLA format, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff that you have to do in order to make it ready to turn in. Once it is ready to turn in, make sure you're saving this to your computer. Once it is ready to turn in, you'll want to go back to the Blackboard. You'll go into the final project, and then you'll scroll down. And this section here, it says three final project milestones, submit your outline. You'll click on that, and this is where you'll submit your outline. So you will browse your computer. Probably you've saved it to your computer, and now you'll browse your computer and you'll upload the document to this part of the Blackboard. And then when you're completed, you hit submit. You can save the draft if you want to come back to it, but make sure you hit submit so that it comes to me and you get credit for it and I can grade it and everything. If you just save the draft, I can't access it yet. So make sure you are hitting submit when you're ready to turn it in and get your grade. So as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and good luck everyone. Thank you.